We have a steadily increasing world population. For us as architects, we have to use this space responsible, and so we want to create a building that uses the space and the resources in the most responsible way possible.
18 teams, 11 countries, an international competition for young and creative students, building 18 houses in Wuppertal, energy efficient and social aware.
Hello. So tell me who you are and where are you from and what team are you on and what is your role in the team?
Hi, my name is Jan Pilatzik. I lived and studied in Aachen, and I just finished my bachelor studies, and in September I'm starting my master studies in architecture. I'm currently the student team leader of Local Plus, and beside that I'm also working in the social scenario of our building and city concept.
And what is the meaning of your project name?
Local Plus, the local stands for low carbon life cycle, and with the meaning of the plus is that we not only want to take account the material choice of our architecture design, but rather create a building and living environment that result in a low carbon footprint in its complete life cycle.
What is your personal motivation as a student to participate in the project?
I think my biggest motivation to participate in the project is to be part of a big project like the Solar Decathlon that's trying to solve and help the building industries on cities in the future to get more sustainable. And for me, as a future young architect, the sustainable building and planning is very interesting, like choosing the right materials and what can they make a difference in the life cycle of a building. And what are possible energy solutions for building in the future, and in the end even build one of these solutions and present them to the public and getting their feedback and try to make it even better then.
Okay, that sounds good. Is it the first time that your university is participating in a Solar Decathlon competition?
Yes, for the FH Aachen it's actually the first time that we are competition.
And do you have some contact with farmer decathlons from other teams maybe? And if you have, what did you learn from the experiences?
Actually, yes, we have contact to former decathletes. For example, our professor, Mr. Wollenweber, has participated in 2007 and 2009 as a project manager. And he told us in many lectures back in the 5th semester that we're going to have the best experience of our life, that it will be very hard work, and that there will be many ups and downs, and we just have to work through them. And in the end, he thinks that there will be friendships for life, and possible that even some of us getting married. So of these working sessions together.
Great. So now the first steps have been taken and you have an idea about your project. But what is it and how did you come up with that?
For us, it's actually beginning exactly 1 year ago in the 5th semester of our bachelor studies. At that time, we didn't even know if we were going to be part of the SDE, but we held an internal competition of the urban situation closing gaps. And in the end of the semester, we have 2 very promising designs. And for the first deliverable, we sit together in a group and we try to combine them due to their strengths. And in the end, we had a design which have a very specially floor plan, which questioned the average space use of a person at the moment and organize it in an innovative and efficient way new. And we have a very special facade. We've added 2 more functions to the facade. The first one, we have added nose, which helped to reduce air pollution in the surrounding streets. And on the other side, we have solar voltaic panels on them to not only create the energy for the building itself, but also for the surrounding neighborhood, so they can benefit from it.
Why did you choose a specific urban situation in Wuppertal or especially in the Merkel district?
For us in a group, we had a discussion about these 3 urban situations, and it was very interesting to design building and the public space on the opposite street. And in the end, we decided to choose that because we also find a lot of the same situation here in Aachen and in other cities in Europe. So we thought this would be perfect for us.
Yeah, great question, because what have you enjoyed most about the project so far? I think it's a little bit difficult because the coronavirus situation, but maybe there's still something.
Of course. For me, first, the organization. I really like that. And on the other hand, being part of the social scenario team and discuss problems we as humans will facing or we are facing, and possible finding solutions for them. And for example, like decreasing the regular cost of living, and how can we achieve it by the architecture itself, or how can we combine the new way of living that we want to design with our current legal structure here in Germany. So I really enjoyed these discussion.
Okay. The SDE 21 is the first urban edition of the Solar Decathlon Europe. How do you think your project or your ideas can have an impact on sustainable cities of the future?
Yeah, we at Local Plus, we had a lot of discussion about that, and we decided that in the future it will be necessary that new and innovative ideas with a positive outcome on climate or use of resources need to be used there where they have the greatest impact. And for that, we have this steadily increasing world population, so the space in cities will become in the future even more available. And for that, for us as architects, we have to use this space responsible. And so we want to create a building that uses the space and resources in the most responsible way possible.
In the last few months, many people have been able to work only virtually, and this is one of the reasons why the SDE 21 or the final of the SDE 21 was postponed to 22. And how is the coronavirus situation in Aachen right now, and how does it influence your work?
Yes, also the coronavirus situation in Aachen is on the mat. We in the last 7 days we had around 5 new cases, and a total of around 2,300 cases. At the beginning, for us as a team, it was very difficult because we never had working fully digitally, and we facing many problems about how we are going to work in little groups together. But I think the intense workflow and due to daily meetings we held, we got in the end very good at it. We are currently working on a concept for going back in our office again, but we're looking closely at the coronavirus situation in Aachen. And if we can't meet the standards or create a safe environment, we will continue working from home until the pandemic is over. Many of us are looking forward to go back in the office.
Yeah, we too. Do you think that COVID-19 can lead to a chartered view of housing and building when you think of flexibility, nature, or community?
Yes, in our team we had a lot of discussions about that, and we even discussed our current design. Is it suitable for a future pandemic? We hope it didn't come, but we run a scenario about that, and but we all agreed on that for some tasks, the home office and the couch or the dining table can be a very temporary workplace. It often just depends on the task you're doing and on the living situation. Do you have roommates, kids, a wife or a husband, or are you both working from home or just you? So it's depends that, but we think when the pandemic is over, we have to overthink some of our current architecture decisions.
And now the last question, have you ever been to Wuppertal?
Yes, as a teenager, very often, because I'm from North Rhine-Westphalia too, so I went there often for skateboarding. And lately, before the pandemic, we went there for an urban survey of Milke, and we held some interviews with locals there to get their views on the future of Milke and how they think it would play out. And even some of my colleagues visited you in the SCE office to get a drink. And after, when the pandemic is over, we are looking forward to go back to Milke again to help the same interviews, to get the perspective of the people now after the pandemic and if their views have changed about certain topics. And
so you compare the answers from then and now.
Yes, because back then most people were actually happy living there in Wuppertal because like rent was cheap, and they were like, yeah, I can drive with my bike 50 minutes in that direction, and there's Ken Volleyball or in the city in that direction. And now with the pandemic, I think these views might be changed, and so we're looking forward to getting these answers too.
Okay, yeah, sounds very good, and thank you for the interview. And hope we see personality in a while.
Yes, I hope so.